Hi, I'm Brittany Frez.
And I'm Megan Theus.
And this is the Elevating Aesthetics podcast. And today we're going to be talking about real life.
And what it's like trying to balance a busy work life while having a social life and being fit and healthy.
Yes, and I am definitely working on the fit part.
We just left the gym.
I used to be a fitness competitor, and I would be in the gym at 5 a.m. I would work out for an hour, and then I would go to the hospital and work 14 hours, and then somehow still have the energy to go out and go to dinner or go out and party. And these days, I just don't have that stamina in me anymore. And I think a lot of it is because I don't work out as much as I need to.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I have relied so heavily over the years on liposuction. I'm just being honest. When I worked in plastic surgery, I was like, it's fine, I'll just get it sucked out, which I know is a terrible mentality, but that's just me being real. And then after that, I have relied so heavily on tirzepatide.
Yes.
And I know that I need to be in the gym for my mental health, for my physical health. It really does make my day better. Like, I'm already in a better mood. I have more energy. Same. And so I really do want to make it a habit, so much so that I got with Allie, who is my everything. She's our front desk girl.
She is literally a Jane of all trades.
Dog sitter, housekeeper. And she's coming to my house every morning now at 7 a.m. to give me time to get to the gym.
Yes, and not only is the gym so important, but eating right too. And it's so hard to do because we're busy. We're running around, and there are some days I look down at my watch, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 1:30. What have I had to eat and drink today?
Yes.
And it's very hard to do. So I have been really trying to fill up a water jug, bring it in here with me, put it in the cabinet, and just in between patients, have a few sips. But it's hard. It's hard because we're busy.
It is. And I am so proud of you for really prioritizing your mental health and your physical health. I definitely need to do a better job of that. I definitely don't drink enough water, and I eat out all the time. It's either traveling, rep dinners, girl dinners, and I probably eat out 4 nights a week.
But the flip side of that is it is so important for our mental health to also have that social life aspect, which is one of the things that we're going to talk about today is balancing that work life and social life and still making time for your family. It is hard, but it is imperative because our brains need that time with our girlfriends. That alone makes me feel good.
Me too.
I love the gym. I did a quick little video yesterday. I use that 30 to 45 minutes when I leave here to be by myself. And I love to work out in the mornings because it also gives me energy and makes me feel good. But when I don't have time, I get excited because I know I can go after work and have that time to myself before I go home. And I don't know about you, but my husband likes to chat with me after work. When I get home, that's the first thing he wants to do. He asks me about my day, and he wants to tell me about all these things.
Which is so sweet.
And I love that, and I want to be engaged, with him and my dog. She always brings her toys straight to me as soon as I walk in the door. But if I don't just have 30 minutes to myself before I walk in, I feel so overstimulated.
I do find myself getting overstimulated a lot too, and then I can come off as rude, and it's not intentional because sometimes we're rude to the people that are closest to us because we know they're going to be there no matter what. But when you spend a whole day with people needing you, so not only is it my patients needing me, but it's staff needing me and reps dropping in and phone calls and emails, and it's this constant need for communication. And I'm the same exact way, except for I haven't been great about making that time for myself, and I go straight into mom-wife life.
Do you ever just sit in your car for 5 minutes?
I have pulled over, so you have to make a U-turn to get into my neighborhood, and there is a little store there that no one's at because they close at 5 o'clock, and I pulled into the parking lot and just to sit. And sometimes it's to scroll and just not think about anything.
That's important. We need that time.
My husband was he pulled up. He was like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just
having
I need
some
a
me
second.
time.
I just need a second.
Just hanging out.
It was funny, but no, I do. I sit in the car sometimes, and 50% of the time at least, Tony will walk out with the dogs, and the dogs will be so excited to see me. And I mean, it does feel good to be wanted and needed.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. But I love that you take that time for yourself, and I am still working on finding that.
Well, that's why you have me, and I feel like when you have a friend that wants to hold you accountable, and I'm like, hey, let's go to the gym, and you're like, meet you there at 8. Having that time with somebody, but also they kind of keep you in check. That's important too.
It is.
So, tirzepatide's been great for me, and I I think people think of it as like a cheat, but for me, it was just a jump start.
Yeah.
I got on the medicine, lost some weight. I never stopped working out. I've worked out the entire time I've been on the medication. And now that I'm where I want to be weight-wise, I'm just on a maintenance dose. I take like one shot every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Low
and
dose.
Those biceps were popping today in the gym. I was like, dang.
Fred is proud of me. Shout out to Get You Right Fitness. He's been amazing, and he's very affordable. So if any of you guys want to have a trainer, I've only ever worked out with him in person 2 times, and we've been doing this for like 14 months. I have an app. It's so easy. I just click on it, and everything is loaded for me. And then I just upload progress pics. I actually did that when you left today. I went into the locker room to upload some photos for him, but having him keep me accountable helps me be able to keep you accountable, because I'm like, Fred's going to be texting me tomorrow if I don't check in.
He's like,
where
what
are
did
you
do today? I do. I know how to do things, and that I think is what frustrates me the most, is that I know to drink my water. I know I can actually probably name how many calories is in anything, because somehow that was burned into my brain from the time I was like 18 to 21 because I was working out so much.
Counting macros.
Yeah. And so I know how to do things. It's just a time. And I think because I'm so busy in the business, I do the business, and then I have my family time, and I'm working on setting time aside for myself. And I do that. I think my me time is actually my time with my girlfriends, which still like fills my cup and makes me feel relaxed.
1,000%. My family, when I first started here, they're like, "Are you ever at home? What are you?" And I'm like, "No, but yes, I'm home every single night." But I feel like, 15 minutes by myself in the car is perfectly good for me, but I have to have time with my friends. Like, I cannot be the person that works and then just sits at home. Like, I have to have that filling of the cup, as you said, because that's what brings me joy. Like, my friends, I'm a girl's girl. That is what makes me happy. And so these trips that we take, it's so educational, and I love that we're at these conferences learning and we're like sponges, but also I like the time with y'all. I'm so pumped. Britt and I are actually going on a cruise, the Best Aesthetic Injectors cruise. We're going to be in the Bahamas, and it's the week before my birthday, so I can't wait. I don't know how much learning we're going to do, because
we're going to have a really good tans, and
we're going to be swimming with pigs and all the things. But I'm so pumped about learning, but also just to spend that time with you.
Me too.
And I don't know, like, other than when we did the cadaver course where we just had a trip, just the 2 of us. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited too. And I have been so busy lately that this weekend I don't have that much going on. And there will be times when I personally have to reset, because it's so funny. I'm actually an introvert. I'm like an extroverted introvert. And I love my time with my close girlfriends that I don't have to like be on, and I can just relax, which is you and obviously the Mila girls.
Church. We go to church on Sunday. Yes. We go to brunch, and that's perfect.
But I will take weekends, which are rare, and I will just lay in bed or lay on the couch all day sometimes and just couch rot. And that it takes that for me sometimes, because I am so overwhelmed and that's okay. Like I used to feel so guilty for that, and I wouldn't be able to sit still. I'm like, okay, like I need to make this spreadsheet, or I need to make this, marketing plan, or I need to do whatever. And I have finally come to a place where if I just want to lay in bed for 8 hours, I just do it.
Heck yes.
And that's okay.
You're a business owner, and being a business owner and also trying to engage with your employees and then go be a mom, like, I, don't have children, so I have a little bit of extra time that I can do things. But like, you have a son, and you have a husband that wants to spend time with you too, and then your sister and your mom, and so it's hard. And then my family, my sisters live here, but my parents are in Alabama, so sometimes just going to see them requires me driving an hour and 15 minutes, and I don't always have that day. Newer in this industry, and I've been trying to network and go to every single thing. Like, I don't want to say no. I'm in a place now where I can say no to things, but when I first started, it's like, I don't want to say no, because I feel like I need to be at these events.
Yeah.
People need to know who I am.
So what do you recommend for people that are so busy and they just feel like their life is chaos? Because I feel like a lot of people will ask me, and like, how do you do it all? Because people see only the good parts on social media. Obviously, we're always traveling and doing things, and people are like, where do you get the hours in your day? So how do you keep yourself aligned, well-rested, and still like networking and doing all the things?
I actually still write in a hard planner. I should have brought it in here so
Look,
I could show
there's
you.
Mine.
Like, yeah. If you want to know what Brittany's life looks like, I still write. Like, I have a binder, And I write everything down in my planner. And then that kind of allows me to know what days are free and when I can free up just an extra, like dinner. Tonight I have a junior league meeting, and then I'm having dinner with my friend Courtney, who I used to see all the time. And then I started this job, and you know, some of my friends kind of had to take a seat on the back burner. And so now that I'm in a place where I can squeeze time in, that's what I'm trying to do. But a planner and just making sure, whether it's getting up 30 or 45 minutes earlier in the day just to have that time. I struggle because I have not ever been a morning person.
Really?
No, I would sleep probably until lunch every day if I could. I know you're an early riser, so that kind of is good for you, but I am working on, and the goal that I have set for myself over the next few months is to try to get up earlier. And that's why when you said meet me at 8, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this.
That's great.
I feel like just writing it down helps me so much because I can lay out any events that I know I have. I go ahead and put on the planner, and then I just pencil stuff in on the days that are free.
Yeah, I use a Google spreadsheet because I like having paper, but I also take the paper and I put it in a spreadsheet. And I actually have one column that is Perez family, like family stuff. And then I have a podcast column for the days we do podcasts. I have a rep training column, and then I have like my personal time column, and then I have to put it all together because it's chaotic.
It's chaotic.
It's constant, but that has been so beneficial for me. So in December, I planned January through April, and then I sat down on Monday and I planned until August, and I'm able to lay everything out. And I love having something to look forward to. I think if you're a really busy person, you should always, at least once a month, have something that you're really looking forward to, no matter if it's like a facial, if it's a dinner with your girlfriend, if it's like an overnight trip with your husband, no matter what it is, one time out of that 30, 31 days, if you can have something that you're excited for, it keeps you motivated. Because we get so busy in our lives, and I like having something on the books that I'm like, okay, like I can get through this week because this Saturday, like I'm going to be able to relax.
Yes. I think it's funny because we're literally talking about how busy we are, and then we're constantly like, hey, you want to plan a trip to the beach house? Hey, yes. You want to go somewhere?
But that is relaxing.
Yes, I love it. It's what keeps me going. I love my husband. I love to spend time with him. And, you know, we do plan date nights, and he's the opposite of me. When he's off, we have this ongoing joke at my house that my mother and I and my sister, my older sister, can fit so much into one day. And he cannot believe it because he's like, I just want to lay on the couch when I'm off. I just want to chill. So we balance each other out because he wants to be home and watch sports and relax. And I use that time on the weekends when he's relaxing to go be with y'all.
And do you think, like, this is how I feel? In all my past jobs, like, except when I was younger, like, and when I was a nurse in the hospital, I was able to go. But all my other jobs since then, they took a lot out of me emotionally, and it made me sleepy. And I feel like now at Mila, there's such good energy that it doesn't wear me out. Like I'm looking forward to when I'm coming to work. I'm not like, oh God, I gotta get up and I gotta go to work. And I'm looking forward to engaging with my patients and engaging with all of you. And I don't feel, you know, at the end of the day, like I can't do something this weekend.
This is honestly the most fulfilling thing I have ever done in my entire life. And even though I work more days here, because as nurses, you know, we work 3/12s. Those are long shifts, but there's only 3 of them. So you have days off during the week where you can go get your hair done, go to the dentist, all the things. But even though I work more days here, I feel like I'm so much more refreshed. I'm so much more relaxed. And I just love it. I look forward to coming here. It's not just for the patients, but also for you all. It's just, this is what fills my cup.
Me too. And because I do so many, like I travel for trainings and I travel to learn and I do all that, but it's so crazy to me that it doesn't feel like work.
It doesn't. Somehow, it does not.
It's like, how did I get so blessed to be able to do this? And I just get to live my best life.
You made a video recently about, you know, how do you feel like you get to come and do this every day? And I'm like, and it feels like we're hanging out with our friends.
It's so
It's
cool.
like Monday through Friday. You can catch me with my girlfriends over on Airport Boulevard.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much fun.
And I'm doing a training today. I'm doing a private training, and I am so looking forward to it because it's a new injector. I'm so excited for her. She's going to be entering this field that does come with, you know, some stress, but a lot of it is joyful, and we're making people feel more confident. And I just like get so excited, and I am looking looking forward to spending a day with her.
For her. You know, it is, I don't want it, it's not all butterflies and rainbows, 99% of it is, but we do have days where something may happen with the patient and we stress ourselves out about it, or we go home and we're like, what could I have done different? Or an interaction that you may have had with someone that wasn't exactly how you wanted it to be and not maybe how you even meant it. But there are days where we have those moments, so I don't want it to seem like
it's not
fake.
Perfect.
It's not perfect. Most of it is. But
last night I was at dinner, and the person we were at dinner with was asking us. They're in the aesthetic business, and they're asking like, what keeps you up at night? And like, what is a pain point in your business that keeps you up at night? And my biggest thing as a business owner is I think every single day and every single night, is my staff happy? Like, do they want to stay? Are they getting enough education? Do they feel fulfilled? Do they feel like they're making enough money? Can they support their family? Like, can they do all the things? Like, that is my most stressful thing. And so having the injector stress of complications and, you know, all the things that come along with the personalities of your patients and making sure they like you, and then adding to it, having such a large staff and just really caring so much about everyone can be overwhelming sometimes. And I'll find myself slipping into like this little, it's not depression, but it's like
a worry, a constant worry.
Yeah, it's like that stress that's always in the back of your mind, but it's a good stress. Like, I asked for this, and that's what I have to remind myself. Like, I'm so proud of everything we've done, and I'm thankful for the stress. And so whenever I get into that mindset of like, oh, you know, is this person unhappy, or did I say the wrong thing? I'm like, I asked for this. I want this. I'm proud of this. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm taking all the right steps. They know that I care about them, and I'm addressing things because I care about them. And I'm always able to like bring myself back to that. But I think that's the hardest thing for me. What is your like biggest thing that you think about?
Probably are my patients happy? I have such a close relationship with each and every one of you guys that I know that everything's okay. And if it's not, we have a relationship where we can text and be like, hey, is this okay? Are you good? So I don't necessarily lose sleep over that, but I'm also not the business owner, and I can see how that would be so stressful. Side note, you take care of everybody, and we all love you so much. I loved you before Mila was ever a thing. And I'm so blessed to be a part of this, and we're taking over the world. We have this new building. If you guys haven't already seen, they're demoing. We have no parking spaces right now. We're literally walking from Books A Million. No, seriously though, our parking lot is under construction because we are building a new business, and this will still be here. And then of course we have Pace opening and some other things that are kind of coming down the pipeline that we're so excited about. So make sure that you're following all of our accounts so you can keep up with everything. But the flip side, what keeps me up at night is definitely patients. And it used to be way worse when I first started.
And that's normal.
And I actually was talking to Stephanie, one of our newer injectors, yesterday, and I told her, you know, the first 6 months was kind of crazy hectic. Like, I was worried about my patients every day, and to the point where I would text them. And sometimes I still have a patient, you know, they may have a bad bruise or they were having some discomfort during their procedure, and I worry about them. So I reach out to them at night, like, hey, are you okay? And I like to text people the next day. How's it going? I care so much. Yes. And I don't know, for the first 6 to maybe even 8 months, I lost a lot more sleep than I do now. I've learned that things are just going to happen.
I think I've told you, and I've shared with quite a few people, but whenever, I think I was like probably 4, maybe 5 years in, and I went to a conference and I learned this new technique, and I was like, I'm going to try this on all my patients. Try it on 2 patients and then go from there. But I tried it on like a whole day of patients, and I dropped a couple of inner eyebrows. And
you did tell me
some of them were like prominent people that were friends with the doctors, and I was so embarrassed. I stopped injecting for 2 weeks. I told our office manager, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not injecting anymore. And I didn't. And then I had to like reel myself back in and be like, I'm meant for this. I've had tons of happy patients over all the years. I made a mistake. In the future, like, I've learned, I'll try it on 1 or 2 people, myself and my sister. So my sister's my guinea pig.
Tab literally came here yesterday just to see us and hang out, and she got like down. 3 things.
I'm like, sit down, your eyes.
Well, she looks so much better, but also her demeanor. She's so much more calm.
She's done so good. She's chill.
She really has, and she looks amazing. I love it so much.
Yes, we've done, I think, a couple of sessions of PRF. We've done Moxie, RF microneedling, and then we did the PGF on her. So I'm excited to see too. Whenever you get into aesthetics, or you know, you're newer, you have to be 10 toes down for this. This Absolutely. Is something that all of your eggs have to go in this basket. You know, I worked 2 jobs for the first year that I did this, but I was still present at everything that I could be present for with Mila, whether it was an event, any kind of networking, dinners with reps.
it's just not something you can do part-time. It is a full-time. You have to be all in, and you also have to know that you're going to be away from your family some.
But it's a temporary thing, so it's that temporary pain of really learning a new skill. And if you want it to be your career, you have to like be ready to go all in. I totally agree with you. And even if it's, for the first 2 to 3 years where you're dedicating, I know that sounds like a long time, but you're dedicating everything to it, then as you have built your reputation and you have credentialed yourself and people trust you, then you can gradually pull back on your days because your patients will find time to see you.
Right.
Whereas in the beginning, if you're only available on Mondays, that patient's like, well, I'm not available on Monday, so they're not going to change their schedule for you. So
Absolutely.
I think it's really important in the beginning to be as available as possible while also still, taking care of your family and doing all the other things. So, get yourself a good calendar.
Yes, I love a calendar.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.